when you make some decision, it's gonna be easier with the future vision. This is Sony 16-35mm F4G powered zoom lens, and this is Tamron 20-40mm F2.8, and now it's freaking cold. This Sony 16-35 is relatively new, and Tamron 20-40mm is totally fresh. And both of them are really great lens. They have a huge potential to be a new standard as the wide-angle zoom lens. So that's why you guys got lost. Like Sony got super wide 60mm and this new zoom system, but it's f4 while Tamron is f2.8, 16-35 or 20-40mm. That's damn tough to decide. Which should I get? When you are on the fence, who does always help you? Me. This guy, Kensei Akatsu, who is a great reviewer, YouTuber, filmmaker, photographer, and crazy climbing enthusiast who damages his lungs by sucking cigarette. Don't judge me. Anyway, today is the day when you can finally find out which is for you and which will be the new standard as the versatile go-to wide-angle zoom lens. I'm gonna compare them in usability, image quality, and autofocus, focusing on the actual performance. So let's start the video. Sony 16-35 f4 versus Tamron 20-40mm f2.8. Hope you enjoy. Okay, first let's start from usability. I already made a detailed review for each, so today I'm not gonna dive deep in build quality that much. I want to compare the actual shooting usability. So first, both are really small and light. Weight and length are almost same. But Sony 16-35 has bunch of cool features. It got this zoom lever, aperture ring, AF/MF switch, and custom button. On the other hand, Tamron has none of those except this utility USB stuff. I spent pretty much equal time on using each lens, but I felt shooting with Sony 16-35 was easier. I wanted AF/MF switch at least on Tamron. But how you feel about their usability depends on that if you are a photographer or videographer. So what I honestly thought about them through the actual shooting test is this Sony 16-35mm f4G is way better than Tamron in a video usability. You know, this ring and this lever allow you to do original 16 to 35. This is 35 and clear image zoom 1.5 times crop, so basically it's around 52. So in total you can do 16 to 52 with only this ring and this lever. But with this Tamron lens, I mean with the original zoom ring, you gotta control it with button like this. And with this 16-35 you can have a continuous exposure control by this aperture ring like this. Make it bright, make it dark, and make it bright and dark while you are recording. And to me, Sony's manual focus feel was better than Tamron. Sony provided me the good distance from bokeh to focused area, like this twisting distance. Tamron had a really short distance, but Sony got good gap between the bokeh and focused area, and that allows me to have the extra focusing control. But when it comes to photography, Sony 16-35 usability is it's annoying. First of all, you can't know what focal length you're using unless you see the monitor, especially when it's a street photography, which sometimes requires me the very quick response for the phenomenon in front of me. This zoom system slows me down. Like, I'm walking, right? And find something very interesting, so grab the camera, and when I do that, I see, what focal length I'm using and do the setting quickly and shoot. But with this, you gotta see the focal length number on the screen, and I didn't like that shooting process. And of course, this Tamron's normal zoom ring has a quicker response. So I think this Sony 16-35 is well designed and specialized for video. Photography usability sucks actually. And Tamron 20-40mm is just normal, but it's hybrid. It's easy to use for both video and photo equally. But nothing is so good or so bad. It's just simple design. So next, let's dive deep into the image quality difference. First, sharpness. Okay, this is so difficult. To say which one is sharper. It's almost the same sharpness level. Just look at this. You know what? This is Sony. And this is Tamron, so let's zoom it in. Let's see, Sony, Tamron, Sony, and Tamron. Yeah, as I shot and color graded, they have pretty much same detailed sharpness level. Really can't define which is sharper. But there was a slight texture difference. I think Tamron has a little brighter feel compared to Sony. Like this highlight seems to be emphasized more than Sony. And I remember that I was so amazed by this Tamron 20-40mm highlight depiction in this review. But yeah, now compare it with other lens, that highlight depiction was real. So the sharpness is not obviously different, but I like Tamron's texture, better than Sony. So next, color. So first, let me take you to the, real time. Well, yeah, not exactly real time, but the actual shooting, testing, scene, shot, whatever, just go. Okay, welcome to the actual color difference test. Now I'm using Sony 16-35mm F4G. It's S-Log3, but I'm using a external monitor with LUT, so I can see all contrast and saturation here by this monitor, so I can see the color. So what do you think? This is Sony 16-35 F4. How does my skin tone look? How does the sky and those things look? So next is Tamron. So now is Tamron 20-40mm F2.8. So what do you think? Actually, it's so difficult to point the difference out here because I'm not seeing both footages side by side. So what do you think? Both of them are pretty natural, but I think the Sony 16-35 might have a little like a green shifted stuffs like around this area. Like both skin tone are pretty good. They're pretty good, but like this area, I don't know, maybe it's shifted to a little bit, slightly a little bit to a green side on this 16-35. I don't know. So I'm not sure. I don't know. And I found out this test doesn't mean anything. It doesn't give me any answers. So yeah, it's totally useless. So go back to the studio or whatever. I'm not gonna do this. Never. Ever. You know what? I was right. That was worth it. When you see both images side by side, Sony has a little green-orange feel, while Tamron has almost natural but kind of magenta feel, but that difference is not so obvious. It's not that which looks bad, both color look good to me, but when you compare them, they start having a difference. Especially when you focus on the sky and white, you can see that difference. Well, I prefer Sony for skin tone, cause those footages I didn't fix the skin tone, just color corrected, not graded. And this Tamron footage makes me wanna fix my skin tone, like I wanna get rid of this magenta, out from my face, but I'm okay with Sony footage as is. But I prefer Tamron for others, especially for street stuffs, because simply I just love this white feel. So far, which do you like better, Sony or Tamron? Let me know in the comment. Next is focal length. So Sony has from 16-35mm and Tamron has 20-40mm. Both have a really good range, like from a wide to standard perspective. But let's see this 4mm difference and 5mm difference. So what I thought is the telephoto side 35 and 40 are not making huge surprising difference. I think you can get that extra 5mm by physically getting close to the subject or cropping the image at post. But when it comes to 60mm versus 20mm, at the first glance, this 40mm difference looks like more than that number. 20mm is wide enough, but when you compare it with 60mm, that dynamic wide view looks much better. I think this 4mm difference is more than the difference between 35 and 40mm, especially when you want to capture the scene very wide, but with no more space you can get, this 60mm is more helpful. With that being said, I like Sony's focal length better. But when you talk about the bokeh, things change. First of all, Tamron is f2.8 and Sony is f4. At this point, there is already big aperture difference. Both were shot on the same distance, focal length, but only the aperture is different. f4 is not that bad. It's making bokeh at least, but obviously f2.8 makes it better. And if you kill the distance between the lens and the subject, f2.8 bokeh gets much bigger. Almost looks like prime lens bokeh. But if you do same thing for f4, it can make proper amount of bokeh. But definitely 2.8 is easier to have the good result. Plus Tamron has better detailed depiction. Its minimum focus distance is 17 cm while Tamron is 24 cm. And of course, that aperture difference is related to the low light performance. You know, no matter what camera you use, Sony has amazing low light performance as long as it's full frame, like A7 III, 4, S3. So even if it's f4, it's not that bad. And what I was surprised is Tamron is not that super great at low light shooting. For Sony, I used higher ISO to cover the exposure difference by the aperture. Tamron is f2.8, so it was supposed to be much better than f4 higher ISO setting, but they didn't make a huge noise difference. Of course, f2.8 is simply brighter, but I think you can cover that by using high ISO and applying a noise reduction. So my honest true feedback as I tested is they don't make a tremendous difference about the noise. So last thing is autofocus. Both lenses are crazy fast and accurate. The speed is pretty much same most of the time, but I felt sometimes Tamron was a little faster, especially when it's this kind of quick autofocus motion test. Tamron's focus was a little faster, but when it comes to the object tracking, Sony seems to be a little better than Tamron. And both focus breathing is so small, but again, Sony was smaller than Tamron. Like it was almost zero focal length movement. So again, here in autofocus, it's so hard to decide which has a better autofocus. Like both are equally great, but Tamron is a little faster, but the Sony has good, good tracking ability and focus breathing is less than Tamron. So I think I'm gonna choose Sony over Tamron in autofocus. Okay, that's it. Hope this helps you somehow, someday, somewhere. So before watching this video, it was so difficult to choose the one, but now we are getting close to the answer, right? So to sum up, obviously the Sony 16-35 is well designed for videography. As I showed you, I didn't like the photography usability, but a video usability is so good. It gives you nice creative options and makes your shooting efficient. Tamron is very simple and easy to use for both of video and photo equally. But that's just it. There is no particularly great feature, but it's cheaper than Sony. That's also huge. About image quality, there was no huge difference that triggers me to choose the one over the another. But the texture and color are slightly different, and bokeh is also something you should think about. And autofocus, you're not gonna regret no matter which you choose. So, which is for who? Well, that depends on your future vision. You know, if you wanna push your videography so hard, I recommend Sony 16-35 f4G to you. But if you do both photography, videography pretty much equally, I recommend Tamron 20-40mm F2.8 to you. You know what? I didn't see the huge, obvious image quality difference. So now it's just about the usability, including the design, focal length, and aperture, and yeah, of course, the money. So my advice is, I don't know if that one is helpful or not, but my advice is first, get to know yourself. And, what do you want? What do you need? What do you want to do? What do you expect for that gear? Have that solid idea here and make that touch to those, four things. What did I say? The design, focal length, and, aperture, money, make that, solid idea touch to those four things and think about it. I guess I was able to give you the clue enough. The clue to the decision making. Now, it's your turn. See the future vision and make the decision. What a nice day. It was raining in the morning, but now it's sunny. It's November, but today is really warm. Nice day. That makes me, want to go out climbing, shooting. But yeah. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think my new setup? I mean, this window. I just love it. The good light is hitting this way. I just love it. But anyway, so from now
I'm gonna get out of this review a little. I'm about to deliver the message to you. And if you like it, pass it to your younger brothers, sisters, kid, if you have, anyway, the people who are younger than you. So, the past makes the present, and that present makes the future. I don't agree it. I don't, seriously. I think the past doesn't exist. The future makes the present, and you, live that present, that moment with 100% full energy. My point is, what I want to tell you through this video is, make the future first and live the moment. That is the true mindfulness. Okay, this is it. If you have any questions about this comparison, don't hesitate to leave the comment below. So today's is pretty much it, and thank you for watching this video. If you like this one, show me a thumb and then hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. By the way, I changed my shooting environment a lot, and that cost me a lot, but it's good. It's good for you, me, for making much higher quality content. So let's start from this window. I mean, I didn't purchase this window. It's already here, but you know, the good light is coming from that window and it's hitting this area.